What's going on, guys? This is your boy Detroit coming back to you guys with another video. Today we're going to be going over the best live streaming camera, whether you're streaming on Facebook, on Twitch, on YouTube, on Mixer, whatever it is. I've been meaning to make this video for a while now. We're going to discuss what I feel like is the best cameras in terms of price, performance, and quality. So we're going to go from cheapest to most expensive camera in this review. By the end, I'll let you guys know what I feel like is the best camera for you and what your current situation is. Now, if you guys are new to the channel, please make sure to subscribe. If you guys do end up liking this video, please make sure to drop a like down below. And if you guys are streamers yourselves and you guys are on Twitch, you guys can go ahead and follow me on Twitch at DetroitFury. I stream a couple times a week on Twitch, and you guys can come and hang out and ask me questions then. Okay, guys, so like I said, we're going to be going from the least expensive to the most expensive camera. And these are three cameras that I'm very well educated on, that I've been using for years. I've been using cameras for so long now. I've gone and spent so much money on cameras, it is ridiculous. They end up just sitting around anyway. So I'm going to give you the best three cameras I feel like would be perfect for our situation that we're discussing today, which is streaming. I mean, that's a lot of stuff you guys are getting into. Some of you guys have probably been streaming for years now, so that's what we're going to be talking about. Now, usually when we talk about cameras, there's so much to talk about in terms of specs. In this video, we're going to discuss what I feel are the three most important specs to look for when purchasing a camera for streaming or recording. First spec would be 1080p, which is characterized by the pixels displayed on your screen horizontally. The second spec we're going to talk about is frames per second. Whether it's 30 or 60 frames per second, what the frames per second means is literally exactly what it depicts. It's grabbing 30 or 60 pictures per second and it's displaying them in video format for whether you're streaming or recording. And the third spec we're going to go over is the depth of field and the field of view with your camera, which pretty much is self-explanatory, but it pretty much gives you an idea of how much you can actually grab and portray into the recording in terms of your background, your face, and stuff like that. Now, we will compare these cameras side by side eventually in this video, and you're gonna see exactly how they compare in real time, so you guys can make a judgment then. The first camera we're gonna talk about, guys, is the Logitech C930 camera. This is the best beginner camera for streamers. It's on sale right now for the holidays on Amazon for under $80. I will link all of these cameras down below with Amazon affiliate links. If you guys do purchase using one of my links, I do get a small commission off of the purchase. Now, to be honest, guys, anything I do make in terms of commission or any sale with Amazon links or anything in general will most likely go right back into the stream and will be geared towards giveaways and future reviews and stuff for me to unbox and review for you guys in the future. This camera is a full HD 1080p camera with autofocus and a 90-degree field of view. It connects through USB and is super simple to set up, so which is exactly why this is the best camera if you guys are just starting out right now. Now, the second camera we're going to be going over, guys, is the Logitech Brio 4K camera. Now, this was the camera that I upgraded to when I upgraded from my C930 camera. This is a 4K camera, which is on deal right now for $149 on Amazon, and it is definitely a step above the 930. It is an Ultra HD 4K camera that offers 30, 60, and 90 frames per second in terms of streaming and recording. It's just as easy to set up as the Logitech C930. You connect it to your computer or laptop, whatever it is, through USB 2.0. One thing you guys will notice when we compare this camera to the 930 Logitech is how much smoother it is and how much better the facial recognition is and your overall surroundings when you guys are using this camera, even in a little bit lower light than the C930. Now, one of the most important things is lighting, guys. Now, lighting does become a huge factor, whether you're recording with a cheap camera or whether you're recording with a very expensive camera. If your lighting isn't on par and where it needs to be, all that extra quality really just kind of goes to waste, unless you have this camera. This is the Sony A7S II, highly regarded as one of the best low light cameras ever created. This is our third and final camera that we're going to be going over. This is the best high-end camera for streaming, especially in my opinion, if you're going to be using it in low light. This is my main camera that I do use for streaming and for recording, especially if I'm going to be recording in low light situations. It's pretty dark in this room, and this camera is picking up pretty much everything. This full-frame mirrorless camera has an insane ISO range of over 400,000 and a 12 megapixel full-frame CMOS sensor, which lets you pretty much record and stream in the dark while you still look extra crispy. Now, with this camera and all full frame and DSLR cameras, you will need to purchase your own lens, a continuous power supply, and an Elgato Camly capture card, which I will also link down below with the lens and the continuous power supply and all that stuff, so you guys aren't chasing stuff down to see exactly what you're gonna need. When you get into these more expensive cameras, it gets pretty awesome because you can choose your own lenses to create that shallow depth of field or that bokeh effect, which makes everything behind you blurry if that is the look that you guys are going for when you're streaming. I know it's kind of a cool look. For me, I change it up a bit. I go sometimes with the blur background, sometimes I like a much wider field of view. So that's definitely one thing to consider. These are interchangeable lenses that you can put on these mirrorless cameras, and it makes it all the better for streaming. Okay guys, so this is the comparison that we're gonna do like we talked about earlier. This is the C930 camera versus the Brio 4K with the side-by-side comparison. Now, neither one of these I have fixed or adjusted in the camera settings. I just wanted to give you raw footage so you guys can see exactly what you guys are paying for. When you guys look at the C930, it looks like the color is a little bit better right now, but the Brio, I assure you, is much better once you start going into the settings and fixing the color. Now, when you see me waving here, you can see the lag and delay with the C930 versus the Brio 4K. The Brio 4K is much smoother than the C930 is. So this is the side-by-side comparison by both. Now the Brio 4K is a much wider field of view when you guys look at it. It's just that the C930 here in OBS is overlaying over the rest of the 4K width on the Brio, so you can't see it as good. But I just want to give you guys the side-by-side comparison in terms of quality so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. So that is these two cameras, and then once you do this, now we're going to switch over to the Sony A7S II, and we're going to turn off the light in here completely. Another thing, this is with a lot of light in front of me and in the corner over here, so you guys can actually see the quality of both of these webcams. So yeah, let's go over to the Sony A7S II in the complete darkness with the lights turned off so you guys can see exactly what it looks like. Alright guys, and here's the Sony A7S II. Now you guys can see it is absolutely pitch dark in here. Aside from the monitors, which are, I can assure you, are very dim. This is how the camera quality looks on this with no lights on, with no light in front of me. Now we'll probably look a little bit better, just a tad bit better. You won't notice much of a difference if you actually put a light in front of it. But this is how the camera quality looks on a full frame mirrorless high-end camera like this. This is a 16-35 lens on this camera. It is a Zeiss camera. I've got the autofocus turned off on this camera right now. I just have it on the manual focus just because I'm not planning on moving too much from this spot, so I just leave it how it is. You can swap the lens and give you that shallow depth of field with the blurred background. Actually, let me do that real quick so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Alright guys, so originally what we had on this camera was the 16-35mm Zeiss lens. Now we switched to a 24-105 G Master lens by Sony. And this one, you can see obviously we can adjust how wide the field of view is, but we can also zoom in and focus on my face, so it does give you that blurred background in the back, which gives you that bokeh effect that we kind of talked about. So if we want to, we can zoom out a little bit more, but it does not get as wide as the 16-35mm lens, so that's why I prefer using that other one over this one. But you guys can definitely see that shallow depth of field where everything looks kind of blurry in the background. Okay guys, so which camera would be best for you? Now, if you are new to streaming and don't have a clue on what you are doing, I would definitely recommend going with the C930 camera. That is the cheapest camera and is the easiest to use. So definitely start off with the Logitech C930. That will be your best beginner camera. If you guys are looking for that mid-range camera, you guys have been streaming for a while now, you're kind of getting the hang of things, you guys understand what you're doing, I would definitely upgrade from the C930 to the Logitech Brio 4K camera. This is definitely worth the upgrade. You guys saw how much smoother it is than the C930 in terms of movement and facial recognition. So this will definitely be that step up mid-tier range camera that I would definitely recommend before getting into the much more expensive DSLRs and full frame mirrorless cameras. And finally, if you've been streaming for years and you're partnered on Twitch with tons of subs and you're looking to take that next step to the highest level, I would definitely recommend the Sony A7S II. This is the best full frame mirrorless camera out on the market right now. Even though it's been out for a couple years now, this is still the best low light camera out there. We're still waiting for the Sony A7S III. Please God, hopefully it comes out soon. I've been waiting. That's going to be my next camera purchase. I've been saving my money and waiting for that camera to come out. I know they're talking about 6K resolution and 4K 120 frames per second with that camera. There's a lot of rumors flying out there about that camera, so we're all just sitting and waiting. We've been waiting for a while now. It's been a long time. Now, the reason I say if you're partnered, because if you have a 4K camera or if it's a 1080p camera, whatever it is, full frame DSLR, if you guys aren't partnered on Twitch, your bitrate caps out at 6,000, which at that point, it's still gonna make your camera look fuzzy on stream, and your camera is only taking up such a small portion of your stream that you really won't be able to notice the difference. I like my Sony A7S II because in the game room here I could keep it dark and not have a lot of light going on and still capture that high amazing quality from the camera. So with the bitrate issue, if you're not partnered, and with the sheer size of how big the camera is actually going to look on your stream, it's really going to become pointless for you to spend all that extra money and just get a fuzzy outcome on your stream. It's not gonna be worth it. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Let me know how long you guys been streaming for. If you guys are new, if you guys are just starting out, if you guys are partner streamers and you guys been streaming for a while, let me know what you guys use for your streaming cameras. I'm kind of interested to see if people have changed up and moved on from these cameras. I know these 3 cameras have kind of been a staple in the streamer community for a while now, so I'm curious to see if there's any updates out there in terms of if there's any new better cameras out there to use. If you guys did enjoy this video, please make sure to drop a like down below. I know we've been growing so fast on this channel. I think we're nearing 2 months on YouTube right now, and I can't be any more thankful than I am right now. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you guys please subscribe, turn on your post notifications so you guys know when I go live. Also, we will be doing a lot of giveaways on this channel, so make sure you guys stay tuned and turn on those notifications so you guys know exactly what kind of giveaways I will be doing. You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram as well at DetroitFury. I do post regularly on there. So yeah, that is my review of the best high-end and low-end streaming cameras for 2019 and going into 2020. Thank you guys so much for watching, and YouTube, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.